Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be going through the notes for lesson 4.8, and in this video we're going to be talking about what are called literal equations. A literal equation is just an equation with lots and lots of letters. Now the good news is that to solve the literal equation we use the same exact solving skills as we do when there are numbers. For example, in problem number 1, it says solve the equation for b. Now reading the directions is really important here because it's telling me which of these letters I'm trying to get by itself. If it says solve for b, that means get b alone. So I'm going to start by drawing a vertical line through my equal sign. And then I'm going to look at who's on the same side as b. And the answer is A. So in order to get rid of the A, I need to realize that the A is really positive, otherwise there would have to be a negative sign there. And so I'm going to subtract A on both sides. Now on the left side, the A's cancel, and so all that's left is B. On the right side, the D minus the A, these are not like terms, so they can't be combined. Instead, we're just going to write them both down next to each other. D minus A. And we're done. In problem number 2, it says in the directions, solve the equation for H. Now again, reading the directions is super important here because it tells us who we're trying to isolate. So if I try to get H by itself, it means I've got to figure out a way to make this B go away. When the B is right next to the H, that means multiplication. So I'm just going to divide by B. When I do that, on the left side, the A and the B are not like terms. So you can't really combine them. You're just going to write A divided by B, which that line means division. And on the right-hand side, the B's cancel and we just get H. And we're done. For problem number 3, this problem says solve the equation for A. Now, one of the things that we learned is that whenever there's a parentheses, step 1 is to distribute. So the first move here is to multiply. Now again, we don't know what any of these numbers are, so we're just going to write them all next to each other. B multiplied by A and C is just A, C, B. Plus B multiplied by D and E is just D, E, B equals R. Now we want to get A by itself. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get rid of this term that is separate, the plus DEB. To get rid of that, we're just going to minus DEB on both sides. Again, we don't have any like terms here, so we're just going to copy everything down. We're going to get ACB equals R, and then copy down the minus DEB. Next, we need to get rid of the C and the B. Now, this is one big multiplication problem. So to undo multiplication, I'm just going to divide by the C and the B. And I can do that all at once. I don't need to do 2 separate steps there. So when I do that, my C and my B cancel, and I just get A equals. On this side, to show I'm dividing, I'm just going to copy down the R minus DEB, and then draw a line underneath the whole thing to show I'm dividing that whole thing by CB. And I'm done. For problem number 4, it says in the directions that we're trying to solve for H. So we're going to draw our line, and then we're going to try to get H by itself. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get rid of this MN. It's a separate term here. So I'm going to subtract the MN. When I do that, I get 3BH equals, now again, these are not like terms, So I'm just going to copy them both down. W minus Mn. Now I need to get rid of the 3 and the B to get the H by itself. Again, this is one big multiplication problem on the left, so I'm going to divide by the 3B. Which means I get H equals, to show I'm dividing, I'm going to copy down the W minus Mn and then draw a line to show division and then put the 3B underneath. And I'm done. For problem number 5, we're trying to get X by itself. So again, we're going to just pretend what would we do if these were numbers. We're going to start with the number that's farthest away and work our way closer. In this case, we're going to undo the plus B. So I'm going to minus B on both sides. Then I get AX over C equals, since D and B are not like terms, I'm just going to copy down the D minus the B. Now I'm going to again work with the number or the letter that's farthest away from the X. Our goal is to get X by itself. So I'm going to get rid of this C. That line means division, so I'm going to multiply by C. Now this part's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to copy down my AX because my C is canceled, but here's the tricky part. To show that we're multiplying this whole thing by C, we have to put that inside of parentheses. So D minus B, and then put the C on the outside. Then we need to, again, get X by itself, so I need to get rid of the A, which means I'm just going to divide, because when the A is right next to the X like that, it means that it's a multiplication problem. So the A cancels and we just get X. And to show division, we just draw a line underneath. So C parentheses D minus B, and then draw a line underneath and put A. Last but not least, for problem number 6, our goal here is to get A by itself. So again, we're going to start with whatever's farthest away. So the minus D, we're going to plus D on both sides. AX plus B all divided by C equals, and then since E and D are not like terms, we're just going to copy them both down. E plus D. Then again, we're going to go with whatever's farthest away from A, which in this case is C. So I'm going to undo the division by multiplying. Now remember, in order to show that we're multiplying this whole thing by C, when we write this down, we're going to have AX plus B equals, and then we're going to put that inside of parentheses. So parentheses E plus D, that's the part that I circled, with the C, the part I'm multiplying by, on the outside. Then again, we're trying to get A by itself. So next thing is subtract the B on both sides, which means I'm going to have AX equals, and I'm just going to copy C parentheses E plus D minus B. And then I'm going to try to get rid of the X, so I'm going to divide by X, because we are getting A by itself. So I'm going to have A equals, and then to show division, I'm just going to write a really big line underneath the whole thing and put the X underneath. And this is my answer. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon for some practice.